Mogul Restaurant has a long history on the food scene. It first opened in New York City and can now be found in Edison and Morristown.
Indian food is becoming very, very popular. And we have got a lot of celebrities, head of states who have dined here, like President Clinton, President of India, President of Pakistan, President of Bangladesh, film stars, Whoopi Goldberg, Madonna.
What a fantastic looking buffet.
It's an Indian traditional buffet we change every day.
All these different dishes change every day?
Yes, ma'am.
What part of India is this food from?
It's a North Indian cuisine, ma'am.
Punjabi?
Yes, Punjabi.
Indian cuisine is over 9,000 years old, and it is a wide range of spices and herbs we use in that. The cuisine changes from region to region, northern, southern, eastern, western, but the basic herbs and spices remain the same.
Food from the south is mostly vegetarian, while dishes from the north include meat and breads cooked in a tandoori oven. So Raymond, these are the 3 tandoori ovens.
Right, ma'am. These are tandoori oven. It's made with clay. We cook in this oven bread, and that oven we cook meat. Because we don't mix that thing. I show you how to make a bread.
Great. This is the famous naan, right? That's
Right,
made in the
ma'am.
tandoori oven?
Yes, ma'am.
And what are the seeds that you're putting on top?
It's onion seeds.
They actually come from an onion?
Yeah.
Is there any yeast in this bread?
We use little bit yeast from in this bread.
So it's part of what makes it puff, probably.
Yeah.
And it just sticks up against the side.
Yeah, ma'am.
How long does it take for it to bake?
It takes minimum 10 seconds to bake.
That's amazingly quick to be able to have bread. Normally a bread takes 40 minutes in an oven to bake.
It's a traditional Indian clay oven.
It must be enormously hot.
Yeah.
Yep.
Temperature is 350 degrees to 450 degrees.
It feels even warmer than that. Wow. That's like a teardrop. It's lovely. The Palace of Asia is another well-established Indian restaurant. Here the setting is truly palatial.
Indian cuisine is probably one of the best cuisines in the world. There are several ways of making it, and on the menu also you'll find that every item has different taste, different flavor, because different spices goes into them.
An Indian restaurant is a haven for vegetarians because of the wide variety of foods, but this is also the ideal place to bring someone who despises vegetables.
You can bring somebody to this restaurant who hates spinach, who hates broccoli, who hates cauliflower, and they will fall in love with those products. And that is just because different spices goes into that, and the food is not bland. The cuisine itself is getting more and more popular these days, and I think it's just going to keep growing.
I just love Indian food. And now I'm going to share with you my favorite recipe, tandoori chicken, which you can make in your own home kitchen. We start with 2 chickens that have been cut into pieces and skinned. And this way the marinade is going to enter right into the chicken and be really delicious and flavorful all the way through. And to further help that, you take a sharp knife and make a few slashes. And then you take the first marinade, which is the salt, with 1½ tablespoons of coarse salt. They get sprinkled all over the chicken and then rubbed into those slits that you've made. And after you've just rubbed it for a few moments, you pour on the lemon and the lime juice, and that's 1/4 cup of each. Just make sure it gets all very well coated, and this really gives a distinctive, wonderful flavor and a great tenderness to the chicken. The second marinade is where all the spices and flavors are, because you start with 1 cup of yogurt in the blender, and then 4 cloves of fresh garlic that have been quartered so they blend more easily. 2 teaspoons of fresh ginger, and this is what fresh ginger looks like. It's been peeled and chopped fine. a teaspoon of cumin seeds, teaspoon of ground coriander, a half a teaspoon of turmeric. This just gives the color, not the flavor. And a half a tablespoon of cayenne pepper. You can use a tablespoon. I even use more. Don't get nervous. It really isn't that much because the yogurt neutralizes the flavor and you hardly know it's there. It just gives a hint of heat. A half a teaspoon of black pepper, quarter of a teaspoon of ground cinnamon, and just a pinch of clove because clove is very strong, but you'd miss it if it weren't in there. And then it gets blended for about 30 seconds, just until the garlic is pureed and it looks pretty smooth. Now I'm pouring the marinade over the chicken and tossing it so that it coats through all the little parts of the chicken. And then it's going to be covered tightly so that it doesn't smell up the entire refrigerator, and refrigerated for at least 24 hours. 3 days is even better. It becomes more tender and more flavorful. I've done one ahead. You can see how beautiful it looks. It's sitting on the rack in the roasting pan. And I'm going to brush it with red food color. Now this is something that is typical and traditional Indian to make everything look gorgeous and exciting, but you certainly can do it without the food color. It still takes on a beautiful golden color just by baking. And here's my best secret. I've discovered that making tandoori chicken on the grill, on a charcoal grill, is even more delicious than doing it in a tandoor oven. But we're going to do this today in a 400-degree preheated regular oven where it will bake for 20 to 30 minutes until, when pierced with a knife, the juices run clear. And it's a nice idea to take the reserved marinade and brush it on a few times during baking so that it doesn't end up becoming dry. See, this red is going to take on a deep burnished color and be beautiful. This is our finished dish. Isn't it beautiful, with the red chicken, the golden basmati rice, the green pistachios, and the roasted green chilies and cilantro? I think it captures all the beauty and the flavor and fragrance of India. I'm Rose Levy Beranbaum. I hope you've enjoyed this taste of the cuisine and culture of India.